Muted. Hey everybody. Hey. Welcome. Shout out to everybody in the chat that's here. It's a small little house. I wasn't gonna go live, but honestly, I have been waiting for this interview with William and Aaron on what happened and just to kind of follow up on that situation with William's assault. Shout out to everybody. My stuff is not updating. Hopefully everybody's getting, I don't think anybody got notifications. That is okay. Vegan says Hollywood Aja is streaming the Lapa Bell license hearing on the 10th floor courthouse room 1070. I heard um I I don't know if you can stream hearings. Oh, you got yours? That was like quick 6 minutes. Shout out to you. Thank you, Erica. I don't know if you listen, my experience, I try to be very careful with streaming any kind of court hearings on YouTube because people get in trouble and people will take channels down. So you got to be careful with that. I don't know if it's if all court hearings, in my opinion, should be public, but some court hearings, I mean, people do different things and whatnot. But yes, they were told they could, from my understanding, says Lily. Well, I hope that they get. I'm not going to stream it just because I didn't double check it. But if they're good, I guess we'll see what happens. And this is pertaining to their licensing, correct, Lily? Let me know in the chat. I'm pretty sure that that's what it's pertaining to. Welcome, everybody. Thank you guys for being here. Notification 1 minute. Awesome. Well, damn. YouTube must be not mad at me today, you guys. I wasn't going to go live actually. I have been working on a Menendez brother breakdown of stuff and just kind of looking at that stuff. So that'll probably drop tomorrow. I've been really busy on that. And it's taken me a couple minutes. But I wanted to talk a little bit about that because I have been waiting on this whole little interview here. Shout out to Streets and growing up in Scientology. You guys know these are my faves. Okay. Let me put that full. Hold up, y'all. And let me make sure that I credit. I'm sure everybody knows Aaron's channel here, but I want to make sure I credit to and um what is it? Scientology audit credit. I like to do that. So their links are in the description box. If you guys are not sub up, please go sub up, but I'm sure everybody else is. Um okay. Gotcha. Thank you. Have you heard anything of the judge on the on the on which case? Canton, Massachusetts. I am not. Are you talking about Karen Reed? Is that what you're talking about? Because I'm not covering that. There's a lot of other creators that are covering it. Shout out to them. It's just, yeah. The Glaire's covering it. Who else? There's a lot of other people. Queen Bee's covering it. Everybody's covering it. Shout out to them. But I'm not really sure if that's what you're referencing. Yeah, we love to give credit. This was a nice little chat. Streets has great resilience and great mentor to the rest, and a great mentor to the rest of the protesters. I agree. Um, y'all are being petty in the chat. You guys are being petty in the chat. All right. For those that missed my live stream earlier, go check it out because I had a little moment. A little moment. All right, let's get it together and let's start giving some commentary to this. William here gives his side of what had happened. Now, notice how William's wearing the glasses, but he wasn't wearing the glasses when he interviewed with me. That's interesting. Maybe he forgot to because I know he was like sweating and running and whatnot. But yeah, that's interesting. Just wanted to point that little thing out. You're watching it now? Okay, cool. All right, let's get it together. You still mad, Chico? It's all good.
I think DOA was the first one who started putting together some documented evidence to submit
La Poubelle.
to the city or the county or whatever it is when they try to get this license. Um, one of the stipulations that's required as part of the liquor license is that people who are at the restaurant cannot smoke within 10 feet of the premises. So we
Ooh
were
wee.
documenting people outside smoking cigarettes. Some guys didn't like it or whatnot, and they came outside and started having words with the crowd. My thing is, if you want attention, I'll give you attention. I mocked them a little bit. They didn't like it. They slapped the phone out of my hand, then pushed me a couple of times. One guy put a cigarette to my face.
That's
Then they threw a
crazy.
bunch of stuff at us. I have no idea what they were throwing. Somebody said they were rocks. I don't know if they were rocks. It was something else. They were throwing stuff. Then the guy came back across the street.
Now notice that the protesters, they're not just out there protesting, they're also, oh yes, I'll turn up the audio. It is all the way up. Um, I think it might be on his end because he's on AirPods. Notice how the protesters are not just out there protesting, they're actually taking note of various city violations. I thought that was interesting. I mean, they're kind of pointing out the obvious. No worries, cheeks. He has mentioned that his eyes are really sensitive to light. Rose, but he wasn't wearing sunglasses on my interview. I thought that was interesting. So, I mean, I believe it. I believe it. Nice to meet you, JD. Thank you for being here. My kids think I'm important. Rabbit does it. Wait, what? You are important. Tell your kids I said that. I mean, it's a small house, so I could definitely read some comments. Shout out to everybody. Thank you guys for being here.
Pushed me again a couple of times. We went over by their car to get the license plate. They jumped over the wall. More pushing and shoving. Um, Guy smacked the phone out of my hand. Another guy came and
Mhm.
punched me in my face and ran off. And I wanted to see where he was going because we had the police on the way. I didn't want him to get away. So as I went running after him, his friend started grabbing me. At that point, I had enough. So I'm like, you know what? I'm taking this guy down to the ground. My thing is, I'm not going to punch him. You know, I felt like these guys, I could have knocked them out with one punch. I just wanted to control them. I got tired of being them trying to handle me. Took him down to the ground, laid on top of him. The guy
That's
told me that I was
interesting.
killing him. He says, "I'm dying. I'm dying. I can't breathe." I loosened up. I let go of one hand. Next thing you know, I got an elbow to the.
I honestly think William could have taken both of them with one punch. I mean, honestly, let's just be for reals. Let's be for reals. You know what I'm saying? Yes, he said in the interview he wears glasses in his videos for facial recognition, but not during the live streams. Okay, gotcha. Gotcha, love. I thought William didn't wear it for you out of respect. I don't know. Out of respect for what? Yo, I mean, the interview's up there. Y'all go check it out. He was sweating. I don't think he could have worn his glasses. It's really not that big of a deal. I just noticed that. No one is covering the Massachusetts program. The judge center they shot people starting from the ages. Okay, well, do me a favor. I'm not talking about that right now. If you could shoot me an email about it, if Ahmad can drop an email, that'd be great. Like I said, when I have planned content, that's what I have to plan to talk about. But I appreciate your comment, and I'll definitely, if you want me to look into it, send me an email because I really don't know what you're talking about. He's also recovering from a nose issue, maybe some bruising on his eyes. Oh, you noticed right away? Well, Lord, see? I swear. Thank you, Pika. Yeah, this is my email for those that are wanting me to cover something. This is where you just shoot me an email, let me know. Um, that's the best way to kind of get my attention. Okay, hold up. Y'all are chatting. My family rolls my eyes. Y'all are too
The
much.
nose. Then eventually they got up and he went inside the restaurant. Um, Police came. The police didn't take it serious at all. Didn't even get a full description of the suspects. He asked me, what is the suspect's description? As I am telling one officer the suspect's description, the Detective Beludo comes over, and you're familiar with Detective Beludo. He came over to me and said the suspect wasn't there, even though I hadn't even finished giving the suspect description. After the cops left, the suspect was seen leaving out of the restaurant, with the security guard, shuttling him out of there.
The security guard, the La Poubelle security guard was trying to help this person that assaulted William. Okay. This is like too much. All right. And this is why some of this has to be called out. Okay. And it's my understanding that it was a security guard that was La Poubelle, the one that might have instigated some of this too. So yesterday I did a video. I did two videos, right? And shout out to Laura FM who corrected my information. Laura FM had talked to those two protesters, the one that assaulted William. Yeah, And they had been around before, my understanding too. So it's not like they were like walking into a situation where they didn't know that, I don't know what's going on. Y'all are doing too much. That wasn't the case. Laura had talked to them. There was other people had talked to them. They had smoked outside. Like, stop the cap. So these like poor me social media posts is truly unnecessary, and they're lying too.
So yeah, so that's how we ended up there. Now that's only one part of the day. I'll be honest with you. Sorry, that day started off with, I'm getting
Mm.
text messages. I was all the way in West Hollywood, and somebody saying that DOA is on the ground. I go into my live. I'm looking at DOA laying on the ground. I hop on a scooter from West Hollywood all the way over to East Hollywood. It's a good distance on a scooter, right? You figure it's 10, 15 minutes. I get there, and DOA is still in handcuffs.
Oh my
At
God.
that point, they realized that a crime had not been committed, but yet they still kept him in handcuffs. They even fingerprinted him in handcuffs, which is something I have never seen.
Why is that okay? Handcuffs, fingerprint on handcuffs, like they're doing the most. What the hell is going on? And Doc, thank you for the 11.99. Shout out to you for the super sticker. Thank you for supporting the channel. Y'all make sure you hit the like button. I don't do that enough to tell people to hit the like button, but thank you so much for your support. Mm. You too, Lindsay. Rabbit, have you seen the old talk with the Scientologists versus the church on it? Exact and most infuriating and hysterical at the same time. No, I haven't, Rose. Shoot me an email with them. You mean the old links? I mean, I've been watching a lot of old Scientology shows that I'm just like, Lord have mercy, nothing has changed. These people are still like doing the most. Nothing has changed. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely. Oh my goodness. Hold up. Bunny, your volume is louder. Hold up. Will my volume is louder? Oh, I'm sorry. Maybe it's my mic. Hopefully you guys are. Can y'all hear me? Let me know. Bunny, your volume is louder than William's, and it's the middle of the night here in the UK, so I can't turn it up any more than it is without waking the neighbors. I'm so sorry, Melody. I can't do anything about William's volume because this is a separate stream. So even though we could hear Aaron, all right. William, I think it's because he's got the AirPods. It's different. It's different. Let me see what y'all are talking about. I feel like they're getting ready to set up DOA with DNA from socks, and they took his blood. Well, did they, Lady Pamela? Did they ever give him his stuff? Let me know. Did they ever give him his stuff? Evening Rabbit in chat, late to the live because I was baking cookies. Aw, shout out to you, Taffy. I hope your cookies turned out okay.
In all my years of cop watching, finally, they took him out of handcuffs. I saw Danny there, and he'd just gotten back into town. I joke with them about them. Where are you going next? Paris,
Weird.
London. Um, I left there because I had things I had to get done. Next thing I'm hearing, Danny's arrested. And I didn't know what was going on. I went and looked at the video, and I thought this was.
Wait, this man hasn't received his confiscated items? Still? That's weird. Like, give me my shit. You know what I'm saying? Rabbit says they never returned the stuff. You said his socks is still, they took his socks too. Lord have mercy. Why didn't they take his underwear too? Shit, they might as well have. They took that man's socks, his calzones, his chones, the tanga, all of it, man. What the hell? He's still asking for his socks as they have sentimental value? Are you serious? Dang, see, that's messed up. Okay, but they confiscated his electronics too, right? He never got that back? This is like too much.
The most absurd thing in the world. This older gentleman who comes out periodically
Mm,
to mess with the protesters, he came pushing his scooter into Danny. Danny pushed it out of his way. And next thing you know, he's charged with what? Robbery and hate crime.
nah.
Mhm.
Then the fire trucks came, I think, three or four.
Update on that. So charges have been dropped. There was no hate crime. There was no robbery. There was nothing. They, Mike, they stole a man's socks and they have sentimental value. That's what they did. They haven't returned him stuff. Like, that's not okay.
Four more times that night. And then, then Serge. Serge was attacked by multiple patrons outside of La Poubelle.
Serge,
Not Surge. Y'all were messaging me and saying, Rabbit, Surge, Surge. No, that said Sergio. It's a different Sergio. So everybody knows because y'all were asking me, Rabbit, Serge was attacked. I said, no, he wasn't. This is a separate person.
Gill?
No, Sergio, the
Oh, Snazioto.
Snazioto.
Okay.
This is a guy who serves in the military. Just a good guy, just a good guy, just a great guy. He's always there for everybody else. He's not a troublemaker. But yeah, some guys came over to him, grabbed his arm, took his hat off his head, threw it towards the street, sort of tried to handle him. The police finally came after, I don't know how long, 45 minutes. If it was reversed, if we had done this, we'd have had a helicopter, SWAT team, who knows what else. But the cops came, didn't take it serious at all. And then when he went to go file a crime report, the Detective Aludo insisted that the crime report be taken away from the cameras.
That's
He wanted to be
crazy.
sort of private on private property that we had all been trespassed from, that we're not allowed to go on. But he wanted him to go over there. And at the end of the day, he did not want anybody filming the investigation, and he insisted it had to be done his way. It went back and forth. He refused to do anything about it. At one point, he tried to get Sergio to follow him and even tap on his leg like you would do to get a.
Right, Petty. He's like, none of it is okay, in my opinion. Criminals on payroll. Well, criminals on patrol, that's for sure. Like, goddamn, guys.
Dog to come. It's like, come here, slapping his leg, which is just so incredibly disrespectful. And then disrespected, I guess the branch of the military that he's in.
Wow.
Nice guy. We're dealing with there with Aludo. And then after that, then the attack happened against me. And I also think it's important. It's funny how they're quickly over that incident with Danny, with that scooter, and he moved the scooter out of the way so he didn't get run over, and he's charged with a robbery and hate crime.
Yes.
They were there in a second to pick him up. But yet when we were attacked, when I literally have a broken nose, they were in the area, but it still took them over in half an hour. I'm supposed to hold this guy down for half an hour.
That's crazy. That is crazy. And you know what? They be watching the streams. So what is the excuse? What was the reason for any of that? This is like clearly getting out of hand. Yo, every weekend. Okay? Who out of the protesters, out of everything that's been happening, who's been charged from the protesters, from the Squirrel Squad? Who's been charged? Anybody? Their charges have been dropped. What is going on? Rules for thee, not for me. Absolutely. The hate crime enhancement was added to keep them from being able to bond out. Pika. That's what that was. That's right. That's what that was. They knew the internet would pool resources to get the bail paid. That's what that was. Nobody. None of this is making sense, you guys. Like, I just feel like it's all playing out. I don't know, man. It's so frustrating to see this and not see anybody really look into this from that side, and really enact some changes.
It seems like what they're saying is, as I haven't mounted, I could just came down with a couple of elbows and the guy would have been knocked out or worse. Is that what they expect us to do? I'm not going to do that, but is that what they expect us to do? Because what are we supposed to do?
Yeah, because the longer you were detaining the guy so that he'd still be there when the cops showed up, the more damage you ended up taking.
Yeah, I took an elbow to the nose.
And I'll tell you what, here's some things I just want to put on the public record. Those police officers know damn well, because they have good relationships with that restaurant, La Poubelle. They know there's no back exit from that restaurant. They know there's only one entrance and there's only one exit. And I know there's a lot of people who go, that's not possible. That's a fire hazard. Mark my words. There is only one entrance to that restaurant. It's the front door. And those police officers knew that guy.
And some of you guys were saying that in the chat because Aaron was saying it. Shout out to Aaron again. And you guys make sure you guys go over there and watch the full video and, show some love and support. But he had pointed this out too. I've never been, so I don't know.
Was caught on camera going by 10 cameras, going back into the restaurant, and that he had not exited. Those police officers knew there was only one physical reality, that guy was still in the restaurant. It doesn't matter if he's in the bathroom or under a table or in the kitchen, he's there. And the detectives come out and they go, no, he's not there. And you're the best response. Sure, of course he's not. Sure, he's not. Of course he's not. And then it was Tao and Confident Chris were outside the restaurant, and lo and behold, as soon as the cops were far enough away from the exit, up pulls a silver Mercedes, and the perpetrator pops his head out of the door and like runs for the car, and the car just speeds away. Like, it's just gotten so ridiculous.
And your comment is everything. It says, I don't think people realize the level of scandal we're all witnessing. Police shooting innocent people get big headlines, but those are isolated incidents. This is happening every day for months. And Chico's like, right, I'm not shocked by this. LAPD has a gazillion fucking lawsuits and they still do the same fucking shit and they don't care. They don't care. They don't care. That we're witnessing it. They don't give a shit. They don't care. You got the dancing cop. What the hell, Tallman? Timmy Tallman over there, the dancing cop that does whatever the hell he wants. I mean, everybody, they don't care. I have yet to meet somebody in that organization that cares. They don't care.
What? And then Danny had been out of town in Austin and in Chicago. They're back in town for like an hour or two, and Danny's arrested again. What do you think about this strategy on Scientology's part of sending out these elderly counter protesters so that any conflict that they initiate with the protesters automatically carries? Because people might wonder, what's the hate crime component? I think people assumed it was a hate crime because the guy was a Scientologist. No, it was a hate crime because the guy was elderly. It was a hate crime against the elderly.
See, I didn't even put that. I didn't even think of it that way, given that it was labeled a hate crime because of his age. And Lamb, thank you for being here. Shout out to you. You've been telling everybody to hit the like button. But seriously, Doc, you could make a 3-part Netflix on cops dealing with SPTV protesters. Shout out to Kelly Copter, amazing at editing. Look, I think at this point we have enough footage, truly enough footage, to put various incidences into video. Remember when Kelly had put the video together of what happened with Aaron, and she was I mean, it was phenomenal for her to do that because she actually took from various streamers and made this huge timeline that really made a difference for a lot of us that are wanting like a more in-depth breakdown. At this point, that is exactly what people can do. Like you could start really putting some of these pieces together and understanding like the concerns. The LAPD is not for the people. It's not for the people. No, they're for themselves and for anybody else that pays them. It's always been like that. Always.
Elderly was the accusation. I mean, on the one hand, it seems like good strategy on Scientology's part, but on the other hand, I feel like this is going to backfire on them in ways they're not predicting.
Yeah, listen, I have, as we speak, a temporary restraining order against myself. For what? For elderly abuse, supposedly. For, I can't say the individual's name to talk much about it, but this counter protester is claiming that I committed elderly abuse against them. They're doing it to try to stop me from expressing my First Amendment rights and my First Amendment right to assembly. I think what the whole goal is to sort of get a restraining order against me, plant them right in front of any facility, and then next thing you know, I'm violated. So yeah, listen, Church of Scientology uses dirty tactics. I mean, listen, we saw that a certain individual with like 71 arrests, who has 2 warrants for his arrest
That's
right now as we
crazy.
speak, and has 2 restraining orders, temporary restraining orders against him right now by Scientologist protesters. A man who has made multiple threats and who has literally assaulted a protester. Scientology decided that they want to reach out to him and get his phone number because the higher ups want to work with him.
I saw that yesterday. That was wild. Is it okay? I mean, since we're not saying names,
You said, is that the scooter guy? I don't know, neuropsych. That's a good question.
that's the guy who's known as Skateboard Guy, right? Or Skateboard.
Oh, there you go. Skateboard guy or scooter guy? It's the same guy that who's been like harassing everybody, right?
Boy, Skateboard Man.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is a guy who's very publicly been antagonistic and physically confrontational with protesters. He's expressed a willingness to get physical and violent. He's also expressed threats. And like you just said, because I didn't know when you were listing off those things, I didn't know you were talking about him. He's got restraining orders against him.
That's crazy.
I'm going to repeat what you just said. Sea Org Scientology security guards were caught on camera yesterday approaching this guy saying, we basically want to, I'm paraphrasing here, we want to work out someone with you. We want you to come work for us, is essentially what they were saying.
Yeah.
And I mean, look, I'm a very somewhat potentially petty and confrontational guy myself. When I see Scientology trying to ratchet stuff up like that, there's a part of me that goes, oh, bring it on. Because,
oh my God. It was a neuropsych, but I thought it was a different guy because I think they have him over here on they have him on Twitter. I'm pretty sure this is the same guy that they have. So hold up, let me see if it's the same one. I don't want to blast somebody. But what's the definition of conspire? I've been documenting Scientology and now they offer to help my stalker. I have a restraining order for this man and a criminal threat report. And apparently, Scientology only uses the most dangerous to fair game their victims. Oh, fuck. Is it this guy right here? Sorry, y'all. I'm cussing because this guy right here? I'm showing it. It's a mugshot. Mugshots are public, okay? He's been stalking Jessica Palmadessa and a couple other folks. Is that what it is? No, this is a different guy, neuropsych. But that guy is a Scientologist. This guy right here, so this is out of Jessica. Jessica said this. That's the skateboard dude? All right, thank you. It's a lot. Shout out to Bo Peeps. Okay, shout out to Aaron. I mean, I gotta join this membership. I'm not a member yet. No money yet. I gotta get paid. Yes, where he tells the Scientology wanting to help him and go after protesters. That's this guy right here. So he just basically, no worries, neuropsych. He just basically offered his services to Scientology. That's the well, his shit is all over Twitter. This one, right? It's a small house, y'all, so I figured we could talk a little bit more. The same cops from the same precinct doing the same unlawful activity over and over to the same people without even trying to seem unbiased. Enormous charges like hate crimes for touching a scooter, not even touching it. He moved it away. Like he had to move it. You know what I'm saying? Hey, my blues, how are you, love? Um, yep, he said he was gonna ask them for 10K to help harass the protesters. So this guy is like a legit stalker. It's crazy. So that's dude. That's anyways.
This doesn't end well for Scientology.
Yeah. So the weird thing is, I can't speak for everybody. I can speak for myself, right? I love these fights. If I am willing to take a lick if it exposes whatever group or entity I'm going after. I'll take a broken nose. It exposes how corrupt the LAPD handles these things. I'm perfectly fine with that. I see those things as a win. And we catch somebody.
Y'all see that? William said, I'll take a broken nose. I told you, you guys can break this man's arms, legs, fingers, nose, whatever. You can't break this man's spirit. Like he's not scared of y'all. He's not. He really, really is not. I mean, I'm just letting y'all know. He's not. Didn't we just say that? This they picked the fight with the right one, you know?
Like him on his own
You
video,
can't
on his
break
own
his
live stream
spirit.
with the Scientology security. And listen, also their third party security was right there backing him up. I don't know what his purpose was, but he is no longer, as far as I am concerned, especially when they were no longer on Scientology property, they were across the street. Why is he following over there? As far as I'm concerned, there's a term we use. They're an op of mine now. That entire company should be held accountable at this point. But yeah, when you have them
Wow.
caught on camera, and the guy saying afterwards that yeah, they want me to come work with them.
No. Lindsay's like, look, I'm just chilling with everybody. Says, why do I always want a boba tea when I watch your videos? Because we're just giving commentary. I mean, truly, I went live to give commentary. My head has been on this whole Menendez brothers stuff. So honestly, like I needed to take a little break from the dark stuff and this is, I would say that this is something that needs awareness. That's why. But yeah, have your little boba tea, girl. Have your little boba tea. I love how his nose is totally straight now. I mean, I'm sure he's having to probably, I don't know. I know that he probably needs some surgery or something, and I'm sure it's painful. Just imagine the pain of a broken nose. I cannot.
His exact words were, the higher ups could help him out, and that means it sort of seems like transactional. You do something for us, and we will help you out. But what would it be?
Right.
What would they want from this guy who has, like I said, not just anyone arrest, but a lot of restraining orders in the past that he has violated in the past?
In my opinion, they're looking for a guy who's not afraid to take a charge.
Yeah, but listen, the problem that they're facing is, I think 10, 20 years ago, you get away with this stuff very easily, even 5 years ago. Now,
Yep.
with all these cameras around, with social media, it doesn't work. The LAPD may be on their side. The public is not. This is just growing daily, exponentially. And so this is not a war they can win. If they want, like you said, they want to do this, bring it on. We enjoy this fight.
Yeah. What kind of effect is all of this stuff having on the protesters?
More resolved than ever, as far as I'm concerned. I think that we're going to have larger and larger protests. This is not going to stop the protesters. This is only.
Wow. Okay. Layla says, "Well, mark your calendars for November for La Pobel hearing delayed." So I'm assuming you guys got done with the hearing. They delayed it? For why, Layla? That's crazy. What? I wonder.
Only going to help our cause. It's just going to be more and more attention given. And quite honestly, I think we're at a breaking point. I can just kind of feel where things are going. I can sense that we're really going to see even the media, who is always lackluster in their response to handling Scientology. Maybe they're scared or whatever. But I think we're about to start seeing sort of a moment where everything's going to start coming down on our side, and a lot of criticism toward the Scientologists, because quite honestly, they have escalated it to this point, and I think that they are not looking very good. I think more and more people are going to feel comfortable speaking out against them in the media.
Yeah. You know, there's one aspect of how you conduct yourself that I think is a good lesson for others, in my personal opinion, which is that, you know, I've seen you get bumped around. I've seen you get shoved. I've seen you get hit. You do not do it back. Is that intentional?
Yeah, listen, I tell people all the time, normally, you know, when I'm out in the streets, whether I'm doing cop watching or protecting community, whatever I'm doing, I'm not in the business of letting somebody punch me, spit on me, blow snot on me, things like that. 99% of the time, I'm going to
Oh my God. See, I don't know if I could have the spirit to calm down and not be reactive of it. I would agree with you on that comment, Erica. You said November. Somebody said, wait, so the next hearing isn't delayed until November, but why November? They can't go sooner than. You said it's okay, more time to document their violation. La Poubelle said it needs delayed because of protesters. Get the fuck out of here. Restaurant said they couldn't do hearings because of the ongoing protests. Okay, so they're blaming it on the protesters? I'm saying. Oh no, see, spitting, I would lose my spirit right there. I mean, you want to make me, you want to see me go ham? Oh, yeah, that's gross. So they asked for November. That's what they got. Yeah, but isn't there a time limit? That's a great question. What does the protesters have to do with their delay of the hearing? None of that makes sense. But hey, I don't know. I wasn't there.
retaliate, you know, proportionally, you know. But with this, I understand that it's important to bring the community along, bring the public along with us. And so it's important. And it's also important to document the LAPD response. So if I'm getting punched in the face multiple times and pushed and shoved or whatever, and I do not respond with a punch, there's no way it can be, you know, construed as me being the aggressor. It's important that we are not seen
Yep,
as the aggressor.
exactly.
And like I said, it's just got to take those licks. I said this earlier. There's a time to be sort of Malcolm X, and there's a time to be MLK. With this protest, it has to be MLK type. We're just going to have to take those licks. And you know, my thing is, I don't want the other kids taking.
I don't know, man. I think Malcolm X would be the one, especially somebody spitting at me. I'm just saying. Malcolm X would be who I would be channeling at this point.
No licks, you know. I'll put myself out in front, you know, because I'm a bigger guy, I can take it, you know.
Exactly.
But yeah, listen, you have to
Fancy.
show restraint. That's the best way to win this war. It's the easiest way. It's the best path to winning.
Have you noticed all the other streaming protesters that are popping up in the other cities around the country and the world? I don't know. Do you see any of this stuff?
I do.
It's amazing, right?
Listen, it's taken off. This is Scientology. The Church of Scientology is in a bad place. They're in a death spiral that they can't come out of. The only thing they can do is sort of hasten the death spiral by making a bunch of unforced errors, and they're really good at that. And I think we're really good at capitalizing on them.
Yeah. I just realized that in the beginning of our video here, I did not show everyone your channel. So guys, we got about 3,000 people watching right now. If you're not yet subscribed to William over at Streets LA Scientology Audit, definitely check that out. Support William and his channel any way that you guys can. Hey, I heard there's an update.
Yes, and I would agree with you on that. I think that the more publicity and awareness that the protesters bring, the better, in my opinion. I think that makes sense. I think that there needs to be more of it. Why not? And then it's also trickling all over social media. That is the whole point of this. And this is, like, what other cult has this kind of bad press? Well, a lot of cults have bad press. Let me take that back. What other organization like this? I mean, people are I haven't seen a whole lot of protests against other cults, not this way. So this is interesting, and it needs to continue to happen, and it needs to be people that aren't any it never ends. They need to be people that have been, like, you know what I'm saying, out there, that are able to call some of this out. They have the connections with some other folks. Gotcha. So today, La Poubelles was about the tent. November is liquor license. Oh, okay. Thank you, Rabbit. I I don't know, y'all.
On Danny. First of all, some people might be wondering what's the point of escalating the charge to a hate crime. It made Danny ineligible for bail. So Danny's been in jail for, what is it, I don't know, 3 nights now, something like this. It sounds like Danny's actually free. That sounds like he's been set free, charges dropped. So let's wrap this up and go check out the celebration streams celebrating Danny's freedom. I'm not going to read. Oh, actually, hold on. Here's one that's relevant. April in Amsterdam. Jessica says that the La Poubelle hearing is still on for today. Go if you can, guys. I think that's 4 p.m. Pacific time, if I'm not mistaken. You can also attend by Zoom. Info and links are on DOA's community tab, and I'll be watching from there.
Yep.
Awesome. And oh, you know what? This also reminded me of this question I was going to ask. William, have you seen
Okay,
your attacker's apology
this is the $1,000,000 question. I was waiting for this.
yet?
Is it recent? Because I received messages from him directly, both on Twitter DM and via email. I responded to him. I haven't received a response back. Like I said, it's hard for me to hold. eh, It's hard for me to not accept somebody's apology if they're sincere.
Mm.
So listen, if he's sincere, I'll accept it. But I have to see he's truly sincere.
And last question here. I know people are going to wonder, did these guys get arrested? If not, why not? Do you think that they will? What's your take on that?
So you said that he has to see, yeah, me Tootsie's Rabbit about apologies. Well, I was kind of wondering too, like, did the apology ever happen and whatnot? The apology there was one that apologized, I don't know, lied and then apologized and then Apollo lie. It's an Apollo lie, you guys. That's what it was.
If Here's what I'd say. Normally, they would not be arrested going forward. I'm such a pain in the neck that I'll just escalate this to the chief and to the LAPD commission and hammer him over and over and over again.
So yeah, they need to be held accountable. Especially the guy that broke William's nose.
I can force something to happen, but we'll see.
Okay. Okay, cool, guys.
You said, Pika, I said, I see to address the when you address it, in my opinion, he is being too soft on them, but he needs to press charges regardless of my opinion. I'm there with you, Pika. I agree, but I guess it's up to Will, what he wants to do. What I mean, I like that part of him. I'm gonna be honest. I like the fact that he's very much like willing to accept apologies. Um, I think he's also considering their ages, maybe. I don't know. Like, there's probably different factors to his decision and whatnot. Rabbit, thank you so much for the 5 memberships. If you guys got a membership from Rabbit, please put a heart in the chat. Thank you, Rabbit. Um, ooh, okay, all right, all right, all right. False calls, Bill the Caller, Church of Scientology. You said no one can tell me they aren't connected to the higher ups. Call me a conspiracy theorist, but this is ridiculous. Um, at this point, and it's funny because it's like we've reached that point where anything goes when it comes to this whole thing. You never know. He lied all over the public apology. I agree with you on that. I think he lied too. That's just what I'm saying. Yes, if you guys, yes, yes, please thank Rabbit if you got a membership. You said he could sue, but pressing criminal charges is up to the police, and he seems like they aren't going to do anything. Right, Hannah? Like he's having to chase down the police for this shit. And then the security guard that helped him get away? It's too much. He could sue, but pressing criminal charges is up to the police. Seems like they aren't going to do anything. I don't know. It's I don't know. It's just sad. I think he recognizes that this kid is also part of the system he's fighting, and maybe this is the turning point for him. Stephanie is a great comment. I would agree with you, and that's why I think maybe Streets is aware of that, and so he's kind of like going with that understanding of like, yeah, I don't. He's willing to accept the apology if it's sincere. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm hearing. Hold up. Let me go real quick over here to um hold up. Is this Streets? 21 hours. And then I'm in the Twitter page right now. Hold up. I accidentally watched Aaron and fell down the rabbit hole. That's how I found all of you great people. Aw. He is taking the high road, but I also feel like I don't know. Maybe I'm a little like biased because I didn't like seeing him get hit. I don't like anybody seeing get hurt. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially when it's somebody that I've interviewed on my channel or that I'm following or that I've grown to appreciate. I don't like people getting hurt. You know what I'm saying? Thank you, thank you, thank you. Streets is fighting for the greater good. He doesn't get distracted by the noise. That is true, Erica. That's one thing I've learned, you know? Just like an insider trading on Wall Street. True. True, true, true. He puts on his Twitter, he says, there's no way to look up an LAPD cop's name by their badge number. And being that cops refuse to identify themselves, there's no way to figure out who the cops are. A year ago, oh, he put a FOIA report up there. The LAPD has not released that. Hold up. Let me see what else he's saying. Wow. See, he is like on it, and he's put this all over social media. This is crazy, yo. La Poubelle hearing on their liquor license expansion is still listed for tonight. Well, we already know what had happened over there. Received an email regarding La Poubelle hearing. Okay. Oh yeah, and then don't forget this is the infamous Scientologist that ran, the one that was, Danny was held charged with a hate crime. Who is this? Alato keeps charging Scientology protesters with ridiculous stuff like hate crime and conspiracy when the Scientology protesters get attacked. Is this the detective? Oh, Lord have mercy. Not that fake. I cannot. Oh my God. Wim, thank you for gifting. Wim gifted 5 memberships. You guys put a heart in the chat if you got a membership from Wim. Yes, for the new members, make sure you join the Discord. Shout out to the new members. It has to come from the very top of the police to bring change, hopefully in my lifetime. I hope so too. Thank you, thank you. He's now locked up, not going back for who's now locked up? Yeah, that's Aludo? Is that his name? The cop is such a thorn in his side. Is that so this is him right here? I don't think this is what he regularly wears, right, y'all? He don't wear that, does he? I cannot. Oh my gosh, who is this? Lord have mercy, Streets is not playing. He put all the business out there. Oh my goodness. Yes, hearing liquor is for November. They knew it would be postponed. Owner had rep there. It's nonsense. So their excuse was it was postponed because of the protesters? What's the protesters got anything to do with this? They can't focus on their license? I'm just saying. You can't unsee that? Well, I mean, he's wearing a scarf. He's not like all the way nude. All right? He's wearing a scarf. Look at this. He is. I didn't create it. Streets did. But, cute scarf. I mean, it's red. It is what it is. Yeah, he fuck around and find out. Y'all are awesome. All right. So I just wanted to do a quick live and talk a little bit about that because I wanted to give some commentary to Aaron's. And it sounds like Danny has also been released. Charges dropped as we knew was going to happen. What had happened, that had happened. It really did. Mental picture I didn't need in my life. Well, I mean, Pika, he's streaking a little bit. He's got a scarf on. It is what it is. Yeah, that's essentially it. Too busy with protesters to fix her. And I think it's an excuse. Like, get your shit together. So when the protesters weren't there, I guess I don't know how often they need to. I don't know. Let me stop because I don't know how often they need to go and reevaluate their license and whatnot. Right. You win. You win. This it is. Mind My Blue says the fashion statement of 2024. It's the spring wear couture of 2024. I think it's an excuse, but I don't know. We don't want him to streak with us. No. Yo, Wim, thank you again. You have to identify the cops by their serial number, not badge. That is why the protesters have to actually ask them for their number as it's not displayed on their badge. Bo Peeps, there's a serial number that's different from the badge. I mean, I don't know. When I've talked to a cop, they've always given me their badge number. I don't understand what the issue is. The cop was looking cute for David Miscavige. Stop. Y'all are too much. I'm sure the protesters have calmed down if they knew La Poubelle was going to lose their license. Well, it's going to be interesting. I'm sure they're going to be protesting at La Poubelle, La Pepe Le Pew toilet bowl restaurant. Oh, I'll have to check her out. Listen, I have been on a rabbit hole digging on some other stuff that I got to go catch up. I'm going to drop a video tomorrow, but I'm still working on the editing. I'm going to let you guys go because I got to go back to work on that and then tend to Baby Bunny. But y'all keep an eye out for that video. And shout out to everybody that gifted. Thank you guys for gifting. Thank you guys. Thank you, Doc, for the super sticker. You guys are amazing. Make sure you are hitting the like button and sharing. And let me know your thoughts in the comments about this whole situation. I mean, if you're watching the replay, shout out to you. You guys have a great night. And rabbits out. Where's my exit door? Right here. Bye, guys.